Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here. It is May 13th, Friday the 13th, which I don't holding bearing to. We were married on the 13th. So, but anyway, it's May 13th, 2022. It is, what time?
5:40.
Oh, so sorry, 5:40 p.m. Quick recap. Yesterday stayed home. I did some painting. I'm doing those miniatures. And so if any of y'all need a miniature you want it painted, I'm trying to get a small business going, painting miniatures and earthworks and that kind of thing. So let me know. And I did some loom knitting. I wanted to get some diamond painting going, but I kind of ran out of time and steam, so didn't get that going. Yesterday was Presedate, don't you think?
It was.
Brad made protein bowls, which they're like what Taco Bell has. They're similar, and basically it's just like your naked, your what you would have in a taco, maybe a taco supreme, which is going to be some rice, some refried beans, your hamburger, your sour cream taco sauce or salsa if you like, lettuce, tomato, onion, cheddar cheese, all in a bowl, minus the tortilla. So that was very good. And please excuse how I am right now. I know you're probably wondering, it's like this is not how she normally is. I found out this morning that my father passed away on February 24th of this year. Nobody bothered to tell me. I found out from doing an internet search. Every so often, I would do an internet search just to see. I guess it was kind of a silly thing just to even know they still existed. Though I hadn't heard from them in over 8 years. So, as you can imagine, the hurt, the anger, out of not even being thought enough to be told, that nobody bothered to even reach out and say, I'm sorry about your dad, extended family or anything. No, I'm not upset at this extended family. The few that we did talk to, that Brad talked to, because I was in no position to talk to anybody, said they thought that I had been told. But I hadn't been. I feel like that right was stripped away from me. I've been told. Brad was told. Charlie, what are you doing? Charlie, hello. The slurpy is just a little much right now, okay? It was kind of icky. But Brad was told by my sibling, so to speak, that was his wishes. And I will never know if that was the truth or not. Although I did try to contact my father a few times over the years and got no reply. He also made sure that I knew I was not in a will. Who does that? I didn't ask about a will. I don't care about a will. If I cared about a will, I would have done what he's done, which is sit there and, suck up and make sure the other sibling was so alienated that, and it's not all him, too, because there's a long history, but my parents basically have acted like I don't exist. There are people in the same town they live in that don't even know they have a daughter. So that's on them. I can't control what they do. I can only control how I react. Am I hurt? Yes. Am I really dismayed? Yes, I am. Wow, my eyes are really super blue right now. Have you noticed that? Is that how they get when I'm upset?
Yep.
Wow. But anyway, I can't control what they do. Does that make me a bad person? Absolutely not. Of course, they would tell you differently. It's just like, there's a big mental health advocacy, and they say, if you know somebody who's depressed or suicidal, reach out, let them know you're there for them to talk to, that you care, that you love them, yada, yada, yada. Not my family. It's almost like poking a bear to see, but that's okay because they will never break me. Why have they pushed me so far away? I have no idea. Since earliest time ever, I have felt so much hatred, especially from the maternal side, from the overdonor. And I have no control over that. Did not have any control over it, certainly as a child. And the amount of fighting and I've shared with Brad some of the huge verbal fights my parents would get into and stuff, and then, what the repercussions would be when my dad wasn't in the house. And he did his fair share too. I don't want to talk about all that right now because that's just a little more than I can really handle at this point in time. Where you already feel like you just don't exist. This is why I have so much trouble with it. Brad will tell you, if I think you're related to me, I'm going to run. I panic if I think it's anything to do with family. Because it's just been my experience with family and stuff that, how you're treated. I get this big panic. And, I'm looking for my vape. I was going to smoke on here, but I really don't want to do that. But, I'm just really in so much shock. He died of brain cancer, and I've been told by my aunt that he went fast. Which I'm glad. Because as messed up as this all is, I still love my parents. To a certain degree, I know I can never be around my mother or my brother. They're too toxic. But the little girl in you still wants that parental love. Brad and I were talking about that just not too long ago, because I told him I do not know what it is like to have a mother's love. I've never had that. Closest thing I ever had was his mother. That was just never good enough. There were no recounting of wonderful stories of my birth. From even that point on, I was inconvenient. From the minute of my conception, there's still a question on whether or not they knew about that before they eloped. I was an inconvenience. And my mother made sure I knew that. I was an inconvenience and I was a disappointment. And from my conception on, there were no stories of how beautiful you were when you came out. I was told how ugly I was. And, nothing I did was ever good enough. I would try so hard just to get any kind of positive attention. I would clean the entire house. I would do everything that I had to do in order to try and gain some kind of acceptance. some kind of love. And as I got older and stuff, definitely gaining weight was a big no-no. Very ostracized for that. You know, not that they don't have their own weight problems. But, and as I grew older and I, went to school and, became more, successful in whatever terms you name successful, I realized at one point in time it was never going to make any difference what I did, how I was never going to measure up. I was never going to be good enough. And I can't help but think what my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, would be thinking right now, because she would just be flabbergasted at how I've been done. Nobody should have to find out that their parent has passed away like that. I was in so much shock. I typed in his name and right away it brought up his picture. And it kept saying obituary, and I just kind of sat there in disbelief. This was 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not normally up at that time. And I just kept rereading it. And the funny thing is you're not going to tell me that he passed away, but you're going to list me in the obituary. I don't know who does that. I don't know who does that at all. This is why I'm so terrified to let anybody be real close to me. Because to me, I'm sorry guys. To me, if you let anybody be close to you, they're probably going to hurt you. Sorry, guys. I thought I could do this without crying. I'll be okay. I'll be okay, Charlie. I know. But I don't know what I ever did to deserve so much hatred. Thank you. To deserve so much. I was the one that was there for them. During different surgeries. I was the one that used to go with my dad neighbors and stuff would pay him to, when I was in like junior high and stuff, to repaint their houses or re-roof, put new shingles on their house and stuff, and I would go with him. I was up on rooftops and stuff. I was helping him. They had a torch and stuff, propane torch, and we were burning off layers and layers of paint on the house and stuff. I would have liked a chance to even have spoken to him again. It hurts because my daughters knew and didn't bother to say anything. Pretty sure one daughter definitely knew I hadn't been told. My brother, my mother. What a messed up family. My family is so dysfunctional. I know people that have committed felons and done hard time in prison, and they're loved and accepted in their family. I haven't done anything ever like that, you know. Brad seen how I just kind of freak out when it was like a family going to be around because I feel so judged. All I ever wanted to be was loved. But I'm just kind of in shock today because I told Brad I always felt like this is how I was going to end up finding out about one of my parents. You know. And for my brother to be concerned, to need to say that we're not in a will. I didn't care about being in a will. I would have liked to have had a few pictures of me growing up. That would have been nice. you know. But I'm not the type of person, and we're not the type of people that are going around expecting people to give us things. I've never stuck around a family member hoping I would be in a will or I would get stuff. What I wanted was their love and acceptance. That's something you can't put a price on. And I just don't know what I ever did that was so wrong that I couldn't be loved. You know? But it is what it is. And I will go on. It will not break me. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a very loving person. Scared to death? Yes. Like I said, if you're an animal, I have no fear. If you're a human, I do. I do. You know. Hardest thing to do is ever get me to really open up. I open up more to you guys than I do because it's a little easier talking to just a camera. But, and then we got some bad news about Brad's mother-in-law. She's your mother-in-law? Stepmother, okay. Stepmother. Had taken a bad fall and had been airlifted. We don't know anything more than that. So if you guys can pray for her. They're the ones that live in California. I would have really appreciated it. Francis probably would have said something earlier, except for he knows that I put on Facebook about how nice it was to find out. That I don't know of any other family. It just doesn't let you know it all. No matter how estranged you are. What finally ended the whole thing with my parents and I was that my brother lied about a bunch of stuff. And of course my parents just right away believed it. And I'm not going to go over the whole thing again, but my mom always said he was raised like an only child, and Yep. But I'll be okay, guys. I'm gonna need a few days. Just kind of in shock. I need to desperately take some water pills. I'm so swollen, you know. And just kind of sort my head out, you know. I really want to thank all of you that have been there today. You guys know who you are. You're the ones I always reach out to every time something happens, and I really appreciate it. You guys are my family, you know. All my life, I just never could be good enough. It didn't matter what I did. I was never good enough. You know, they wanted a boy, and I turned out to be a girl. Like, I had control of that. Yes, I was a boy, and it just fell off in womb. You know, and I mean, I never was good enough, though. You know, I was there every time that I was called and told they needed me. I was there. But I'll be okay. And I have Brad. I have you guys. I'll be okay. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I've got to keep my mouth shut. You know. And I just want to make sure you know that I'm here for whatever you need.
Yeah. I know I wasn't part of the family because they made it all very clear, but I didn't realize the amount of hatred. And I just don't understand why, you know.
I don't either.
That it's gone on like that. It's just gotten progressively worse. But it's always been that way. My grandmother used to get mad at my mom when I was a kid, even about how she treated me. And she was treating me nicer when I was around my grandmother. That's the thing. But I'll be okay. I know Brad will be keeping a close eye on me because, yeah, this is not helping the depression at all. This computer won't turn on at all, the little one. I'm wondering if it's unplugged.
Probably.
But he'll keep a close eye on me. I'll be okay. So, anyway, that's all I have, you guys, and I'm sorry because I know some of you guys probably turned off a while back. I didn't mean to get on here and cry. But, you know, it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to say?
I am still in shock. Out about some of the things the warden said to me. And,
that's what they call my siblings.
Yeah, I'm just shocked at some of the things he said to me. And he knows that he doesn't have to be nice anymore.
Yeah.
So he can say whatever he wants to us.
I'm sure I don't want to know all what he said.
Well, and
I don't.
Just, no. And, you
was
know.
Was it bad?
Not real bad. It's just.
Very hurtful. Mm-hmm. I don't want to know, okay?
No, I won't tell you.
Okay.
You know, and I guess it just.
He lived with us twice. I mean, I took care of him when he was a baby.
And I really hope it comes around to bite him right in the butt, you know, because he's a pathetic excuse for a human being.
Well, I mean, what did he say?
No, nothing real bad. It's just the anger in his tone, and most of the stuff that he said is directed at me.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no.
Well, I think you told me what I needed to know.
Yeah, probably.
So, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it was.
I know it's best I don't know, but you know, then you're curious, and it's like, but yeah.
No.
I don't want that.
No.
I don't need that.
No.
I may need to get some help on this one. You know, the depression was already bad, and I've already been struggling, and this certainly is not helping.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do hope that all of you guys have a great weekend, and I mean that with all the sincerity I have. You guys are my family, and I do appreciate all of your support and outpouring. If you guys ever wonder, I'm going to start saying at the end of every video, there's a full description on my About page of everything we are and contact information and stuff. Since I've changed formats, I'm using my phone. I don't have the link ready to copy and paste, and I forget at night to do that. You guys always, you know, I'm not going to lecture you about, you know, any of your family or anything, you know, but just, know that I love you, and I do cherish your friendship so very much, and I don't know what I would do without you guys, and I'll be okay, in time. It doesn't come as a surprise, but it still is hurtful. So, I will talk to you guys in a few days. Love you. Bye.